good volume for you, yes? It's going to be clear, yes. I was going to wait just a few more minutes because I know we sold more tickets than this since we have our fancy new ticketing system and we know electronically how many we've sold in advance. We should congratulate the museum on this great technological advancement. But it seems that not everyone has gotten over the good weather or the traffic is bad, which is why we're just waiting a few more minutes. But in the meanwhile, I can maybe begin introductions. You already know who I am, hopefully. I'm Ike Kang. I'm Assistant Director and Chief Curator here at the museum. And this special lecture is made possible through the generous support of our support group, the Dead Artists Society. And should you be interested in learning more about DAS, as we affectionately refer to it, you can find us on the website through our newsletter. You could always call our support group coordinator, Alex Mosier, who's now being replaced just today, actually, by a new young staff member whose name is Caitlin DeFady, but all of that you can find out through our operator as well. But this is a special lecture series and one which makes it possible for us to bring celebrity speakers into our midst, and this is no exception. I hope that you will enjoy as much as I have the pleasure of listening to our speaker opine about drawings, especially Italian drawings, which is her subject this evening. She is really delightful in so many ways, but we are so honored, really, to have her here among us, as she has made the arduous voyage from Paris, and you all know how long it takes, just to be with us. We've had the good fortune of calling upon her expertise to assess the quality of our old master drawings, and she's gone through most of them now with us, and that's really been revelatory. And in some cases, she has made new attributions, which of course is always great fun for us. Although it's a little bit embarrassing to know that you've been living with a Guercino that's actually a forgery for many years. But also an interesting case of 18th century interest in emulation of the old masters. More on that another day. Catherine Loisel has been senior curator of drawings at the Louvre for the last 25 years. So her experience is vast, needless to say, but her true love and her area of specialization is 17th century Italian drawings. We first had the pleasure, or I did anyway, of meeting Catherine when I was in Paris last fall looking for loans for the Delacroix show, and she very graciously received us and showed me everything that I wanted to see, which was a great treat. And then, just by happenstance, she was in the Los Angeles area visiting the Getty on a courier trip, so she was able to pass by and spend some time with us looking at our old master drawings. And she did us a great service at that point in helping us with the attributions. And then, to my delight, she agreed to make a special selection for a temporary exhibition that we now have on view, which is that small show, very beautiful, called Idea into Image in Ridley Tree Gallery. And hopefully you'll have some time to go and look at the installation if you haven't already done so. So it was really even more delightful when she actually agreed to come and do a lecture on this subject, but in a more comprehensive way. She's going to speak to us about the function of drawing in Rome and Florence. And I should again mention that she really has been a great champ in trying to make this trip happen, because she's extremely occupied with so many other important projects, and her 2-volume book, or I don't know how many volumes it is, of the vast holdings at the Louvre of Bolognese drawings is about to be published in the next few weeks. So she's been extremely busy, and we also are going to be excited to see when she does emerge with the definitive catalogue raisonné of the drawings of Annibale Carracci, which is her next big project. So please do join me in welcoming her, and if you could hold your questions till the end, that would be wonderful. And also just let us know if you have any trouble hearing, and we will also have the handheld mic for questions a little bit later on. Thank you very much.
This evening I want to explain how the art of drawing drawing is so important to understand the evolution of the art of Italian art and the art of artists. So, and Rome is the best example because the city in early 17th century is a cultural center of Europe and was also the religious center. The poor, the wealthy families always are the best artists around them, and they want to have the best decoration in their palace and in the church. You have here a view, detailed view of the Sala Clementina in the Vatican Palace, and you see that the Pope Clemens VIII, how he used his coat of arms in this huge room, decorated by the brother Albert around 1600, to show how this was powerful, this Pope. All the artists who worked in Rome used the drawing to prepare the compositions and the decorations. It's the case for the Cavaliere d'Arpino in the frescoes, that are now in view in the Palace of the Capitol in Rome, in the center of the city. The Capitol, which was organized by Michelangelo near the Roman Forum. In these frescoes, Arpino relates the history of Rome. And you see here the curious and the auras are fighting to have the power. And Arpino used the drawing in a powerful manner, as you see here in the study for soldier in White Charles, which is in a French collection. This manner of elongated, arms and something very complicated in the hair and the head is manneristic in style. But in this year, early 17th century in Rome, other artists conduct a very revolution in the art of painting. It's Caravaggio, you know Caravaggio. Caravaggio does not use the drawing. It's perhaps the only one in Italy in this period which does not use the drawing on paper, but we know that he used the drawing on the linen, on the canvas, and you saw it before painting. And all the paintings of Caravaggio were important for all other artists that were influenced by this model, very natural models, the humanity of the figures. At the end of 16th century, one of the powerful cardinals, Cardinal Farnese, asked to Brother Carracci, who were in Bologna, to come in Rome to decorate the last part of the Palazzo Farnese, the most important palace in the center of Rome. Annibale Carracci begins with the camerino, which is the bedroom of the Cardinale, with frescoes on the ceiling relating the story of some heroes of the antiquity. Alors, Ulysse, for instance, Ulysse, yes, we have Ulysse here. So Ulysse, and Auditorium. In this small room, Annibale Carracci used in the fresco the system of decoration with all these parts which seems marble but are not marble, are fresco. And he uses this drawing, all the composition of the pattern of all this decoration around the stories were prepared by drawing, very, very raffinated. And this one is in the Royal collection in Windsor. And he used also the method of the cartoon, the preparatory cartoon. You see here this part. And the cartoon is drawing on pieces of paper on the scale of the fresco. And the artist uses the cartoon with on the plaster to pick it and to have the organization of the figures and the drawing, and he can paint because the plaster is wet for the fresco. We have here a very good example of composition drawing for one of the stories. We have here the god Mercury and the Circe, which wants to poison Ulysse, and Ulysse here we say the contrepoison by the god. For each part of this decoration, Annibale Carracci prepares with drawings, and it uses the collection of antiquities in the palace to give a form, an ideal form to the figures. The most important part of the work of Annibale Carracci in the Palace of Farnese is the ceiling of the Farnese Gallery. A ceiling very difficult to cover because you see it's not flat. And he had to organize all the series of loves of the gods in this gallery, which is very, very long, but not very easy to occupy in this sense. Alors, the pattern is to use the center of the ceiling with this large painting of the marriage of Bacchus and Ariane. On each side, two other large paintings with Venus and Aurora, which were done by his brother, Agostino. And all other stories of God are around. You see here the marriage of Bacchus and Ariane, which can be compared with the fresco of Raphael in the Farnesina, another very important ceiling in Villa in Roma, and also that all visitors compare with the antique sculpture in sarcophagus of the see here the Triumph of Venus by Agostino Carracci, and Aurora here. And the husband of Aurora is sleeping when she's in love with Cephalus. And we are in the Louvre, the preparatory drawing for the figure of this old man sleeping. This is really a marvelous drawing, and it's a good example of how it is difficult to see the difference between the drawings of one brother and the other. Here is Agostino Carracci. We have seen drawings by Annibale, and we see that they work together. And the blue paper gives us something more vivid to the drawing, some color. It's very important, the artist, to have this color in the drawing. For the organization of this series, Annibale did many drawings of composition of the decoration parts of all these nude men, which were a reminiscence of the ceiling of the 16th chapel of Michelangelo, where are some nude men sitting, and it was very important for Annibale, who came from Bologna, from a city, small city, to show that he was the able painter than Michelangelo and Raphael, and entire sculptor. We have here another example of how he did the studies for the part of the vault that was so difficult to organize. For this triumph and the marriage of Bacchus here, and here, and this is Batman, we have a cartoon, part of the composition drawing, the first idea of the cortege, with the donkey of the old Silenus, and we have also one part of the original cartoon for this fresco, which is in Urbino, in Italy. And there are no many change between the cartoon and the final fresco. So see that the work was so organizing in the mind of the artist that it did not change anything. One of the wonderful studies for this fresco is the study of woman, which is in the Louvre. The woman with the basket in the cortege. And we know that the women could not pose for the artist in the workshop. So the artist used their mistress, or they used anti-sculpture. For the young men, it was easier because there were young men in the workshop, and we know that Annibale used all the young artists around him to study the model vivant. Yeah, thank you. We have between the Louvre, the Royal Collection in Windsor, and the Uffizi in Florence, we have all parts of the preparatory drawings for all the frescoes. Here we have Hercules and Omphale, Diana with Pan, and fortunately for this fresco, we have one preparatory drawing in Chatsworth, and you see that the artist used another idea for the pan, which is sitting here. And the fresco is
Left side.
but we have the idea of the flying Diana riding. Here, this drawing is in the Louvre. It was difficult to invent a man with this part of the animal, so it seems natural. And for the head, Annibale used a very known sculpture of in the Palace of Farnese, which is now in Naples, the Satyrs. And it's really a copy after sculpture, but it's really rare, a rare person. We see here that for the Atlas, all the marble sculpture in trompe-l'œil of the gallery, he used the idea of the broken anti-sculpture. Here, we have no art. The arm, the gods Jupiter and Juno. And you see that the eagle is not this animal. Venus. And here this is the beginning of the Trojan War, when the prince Paris receives the apple from Mercury. After we know that he gives the apple to Venus, and it's the beginning of the Trojan War. And for the figure of Paris, we have this incredible drawing from life of very, very, very large or huge drawing, which seems something very big. Here is polyphons, and we have two drawings, one in ink, very rapid, sketchy, and the other finished for the figure. And you see that there was no difference between the first ID, the finished ID, and the fresco. The last part of the decoration was the low part on the walls, with two stories, one of Andromeda that we see after, and we have some many studies of these atoms or terms, which are on marble, fast marble on the board. And this inudi, this nude man, and the cupid in the corners. And the last other story is that of the warriors that are transformed in marble by the head of the chimera. This one is not completely transformed in marble. You see, the legs are vivid and are petrified. You see this figure? This is not the most important figure in the story, but for this, there is a very finished drawing, which is also in Windsor. But Annibale was very tight when he finished the gallery, and he did not paint this part. This last part of the story, and it's not so beautiful than the other part. It's what Domenichino did to have you are borrowing from all this part of the fresco. This is somebody tells that this is the first nude of the modern art. This nude of Annibale. In Roma, after the Farnese Gallery was a very large success, the pupils, the students of Annibale Carracci were employed by the Pope and other families. One of them is Guidorini, who did the famous fresco of the cortege of Aurora in one palace near the Quirinal. And we have here a study for the torso of Apollo in this fresco. You see that it is the school of, really the school of Bologna, the school of the natural study of life, of human body. But there is also something more ideal. And you see another study for the same figure with something more refined. We have the composition drawing for this fresco, very, very known, with Apollo and the circle of the music. Guidorini was really a genius, and his drawings are always very, very powerful. You see here the preparation, the composition drawing for the crucifixion of Saint Peter. The drawing is in Budapest, and the painting is in the Vatican Museum. Another study of head of a young woman for one fresco in the palace of the Pope for the Quirinal. And Guidorini is very known for the idealist beauty of the figures of the portraits. But also for the strange reality of the other heads, studies of head as these Martians. Violence of the
This suffering while he's being played, this is Marcia being played.
and it's incredible in this drawing. And there is something of a reminiscence of Caravaggio also in this head. He used red chalk, black chalk, white chalk, on paper. You don't see here because the paper seems yellow, but at the origin the paper was blue. So the effect of color of this drawing is incredible. He worked also for engravers, and you have here an example of a page of an illustration of a book a book of botany about the culture of lemons and orange and so on. A book which was edited by a very known botanist, the Padre Ferrari, as a gift for the Pope. In Florence also, the artists were trained in an academic way, and very young they learned to draw after the model, after anti-sculpture, after all things around them, to give the sense of reality. You have here the very known Giacomo and all of them, of Cristofano Allori. You see here, the head of all of them is a portrait of Allori, of the painter. And we have in the Louvre a drawing in pastel on blue paper for the part of the dress and the hand of Giacomo. With, you see the hairs, all of them. And the use of pastel in Florence was very important, and the artist used it when at the end of the preparation of the painting, to be sure of the effect of colors in the painting. Another Bolognese, the Bolognese are very important in the 17th century. Another Bolognese artist who worked also for one pope, or the Ludovico, is Agostino. He came for 2 years in Roma, and he did this. He gave this very important ceiling in in the palace, the Triumph of Aurora. Here. And you see here there's a part of the allegory of China, and there's a very fine drawing. Famous drawing for this figure of old man. In this period, it's the beginning of the career of Pietro da Cortona, who begins a new period of Italian art, the Baroque art, and he was trained in between Florence and Roma. And he was beginning the leader of this Baroque art. You have here a nude study of Roman for flagellation of this martyr Santa Bibiana. The drawing is in the Louvre, and it's incredible because it's so natural. You can see that it is a real woman, young woman. And I think that it is one of the best drawings we have in this collection in the Louvre, because it's an appeal to sensibility. You see there is Pentimento point here about the arm. I did not know how it will be. First idea perhaps was this, and finally it was this one. He was very young, he was 20 years old. And after, he worked for the Pope, and one of his best-known compositions is the ceiling of the Palazzo Barberini in Roma, where we have the allegory of the Pope, the Sapiens, the allegory of Rome, with the coat of arms of the Pope Barberini. It's an allegory, but it's also the allegory of the power of the Pope. In this Palazzo Barberini, there's also a saying more philosophic, more difficult to understand, the allegory of the sages, sapienza, with many women around the allegory on this blue sky. And this painter, Andrea Sacchi, used also the drawing in a more classical manner than Pietro da Cortona. They worked together in the same period, in the same palace, but they were different. In this drawing, we can see that the study of anti-sculpture was also very important for Andrea Sacchi. And this is one of the more sensitive drawings he did. In the Louvre we have this. Also for the book of the Padre Ferrari, this is Armenius transformed in lemon. I can explain because it's a story in the Metamorphose of Ovidius, and it's a little difficult to explain. But the drawing is one of the best, of Sacchi for engravings, and you have here something very, very important. It's the stamp of one of the best connoisseurs of drawings in the French 18th century, Pierre-Jean Mariette. It's in a circle. And Mariette had, for all this collection of drawings, had a special mount. You see here, blue with a gold bar. In Florence also the Baroque art was important, but we think always about Renaissance Florence. We don't think about Baroque art in Florence. But in one church there is a chapel by Volterrano with these angels, these violinist musicians angel, which is really remarkable. One of the most interesting artists in Roma is a personality, very singular personality, which is Pier Francesco Mola. You have here a fresco in the Criminal Palace of the Pope. Joseph with his brothers. Joseph is here. And all the brothers astonished. And we discover, each year we discover a new drawing for this fresco. And last year, fortunately, I discovered a new drawing for this fresco in Düsseldorf, in the Kunstmuseum in Düsseldorf, under the name of Guido Reni. The drawing is classified as Guido Reni. But it's a study recto, verso, for the figure of just, you see here, the double study for this part and for all the figures. Francesco Mola was a Roman, but he learned the art of painting in Bologna, and also he did a travel in North Italy and in Venice, and his paintings are marked by the color of Venetian paint. You have here painting for a church in Roma, and the preparatory drawing, very, very powerful by the color, the use of color. This drawing is in Stockholm. And you have here, in Santa Barbara, a beautiful drawing by Pier Francesco Mola, which is this study for a goddess, but Juno. And it was under Annibale Carracci. I wanted to see him when I came in November, but now I know it's Francesco Mola, but it is a good name. It's not Annibale Carracci, but it's a good name.
Thank you.
And the drawing is so elegant and interesting. I think it's a study for sailing in a villa near Roma of a prince of the family Pope, of Pamphili Pope, Camillo Pamphili. But this sailing, Mola were 2 years for sailing, for this decoration, but there were problems with the prince Camillo Pamphili, and the decoration was cancelled and destroyed. So we can know if the figure you have in the museum is for this decoration fresco, because we have not. But we have some many drawings, preparatory drawings by Mola for this fresco. This one is in Madrid, for instance, and one other with a pattern of the entire decoration, with stories of gods as well. The Roman mythology, the Greek mythology was very useful for painting. Mola used the old technique, very colored technique and powerful with abstract figures in his drawing, as you see here with Fuite en Égypte. Thank you. And the last painter I want to show you is Carlo Maratti, who was the leader artist at the end of the 17th century because he was preferred by the two last popes of this century. And he was trained on the example of Raphael, Annibale Carracci, and Pietro da Cortona. And the first works we have of him are all Baroque, as his study of Cupid in decoration in a church in Roma. So the Cupid is holding the veil, the voile, or something, the drapery, and we have only the head of the Cupid and the hands here. And it's for a small fresco in San Isidoro in Roma. You see, it's very like a cartoon, but it's smaller than the fresco. So it's not really a cartoon. It's only a preparatory. Carlo Maratti used the pen and wash to prepare the large paintings for church, as this, also in the Louvre, for the Sainte Conversation, for the Virgin, with two saints, Saint Ignace de Loyola and Saint Charles Borromée. And you have also a very good example of drawings of Carlo Maratti in your museum, this head. But unfortunately, I had not the photo of the painting. It's preparatory for the head of a figure in a large, huge painting of Carlo Maratti. And you see, it's really a portrait of a real personage, a real figure. With it's accurate, it's perfect in all parts of the drawing. And the mount is interesting. It's typical of the mount of the English collectors of the 18th century. So it comes from English collection. Carlo Maratti as an homage to Annibale Carracci, as was did this drawing for an engraving. Annibale Carracci renovating the art of painting, and he conducts the goddess Minerva to the temple. He conducts the painting, the allegory of painting, to the temple of Minerva here. And the Tiber, the river Tiber. This drawing is really important, huge, very large, and it's also a moment important in history of art, of and the evolution of the style at the end of the second part of the 17th century. Because all the Baroque accents disappeared and we are very figure, very classic, very real figure, not in movement as in Pietro da Cortona paintings. And in this drawing for an allegorical portrait, have the same idealization of the figures. So between life, idealization, idea, practice, the drawing is the center. It's the center of the invention. It's very important to understand how the genius of the artist is combined with all the others, with learning, with all the types of organization to arrive to the painting, to arrive to the realization of painting of fresco. I hope it was not too, it was understandable. I am sorry for my so bad language, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very, very much, Kathleen. I don't know if there are any questions. Does anyone want to pose a question? Oh, she would like us to spell Maratha.
Chiaro Maratha.
Do you want to spell it for her? C'est quoi l'orthographie
Chiaro Maratha. Because German people say Chiaro Maratha, but the artist filmed Chiaro Maratti.
M-A-R-A-T-T-I-R-A, depending on what country you live in.
Anybody else have a question they would like to pose? No one has any unattributed 17th century Italian drawing Very nice. Well, if not, I want to thank you very much for your attention, and I want to thank in particular Kathleen for coming all this way to share her incredible knowledge with us and for showing us so many beautiful, beautiful images. We wish we had much more Italian art in our midst, but at least we have a few now authentic, uneducated, I should say, drawings thanks to you. But thank you very much for your attention. I hope you have a wonderful evening.